Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Forever Human podcast. My name is Slims, and this is a space where we talk about growth, perspective, discipline, and just what it is to go through life as a human being. Today, I want to specifically talk about us and technology. I think this is a perfect time to kind of talk about that, and especially not just us using technology, but I think the lack of kind of responsibility and accountability we have when it comes to technology and these tools that we have. I see people talking about how social media has ruined the world, how the internet has ruined the world, how chat GPT is going to ruin the world. And realistically, I think we really need to be talking about not just the tools, and not that they're harmless, right? They do have inherent risks, but actually the person behind the tool, right? It's so funny when people talk about that movie, I, Robot. And in my mind, I feel like maybe I watched a different movie, but in that movie, I don't think the robots were the problem, right? It was the dude who puts the kill command in the robot. That's really the problem. I've been in IT for over 20 years, right? I've been doing this all the way back in the day, I remember going to the library, right, to look up notes and having to find a book and do my research that way. Then we grow, the technology changes, and now we've got AOL, and I'm asking Jeeves for things. And then we grow from that, and then we get Google. Everybody knows you got to Google it, right? And then from there, we go to using Chat GPT. So in a very quick time frame, 25 years, we've really evolved with technology very quickly. And I think one thing, we've looked at it as more of a problem than really just a tool, right? All of these things are simply tools that we use to enhance or to make our life a little bit better. Now, this doesn't escape the fact that patience still needs to exist, even though we're losing that. It doesn't escape the fact that there's still times where we need to be able to put these tools down, but at the same time, we need to take accountability with our own choices, right? If I took a hammer, walked up to you and hit you upside the head, it'd be kind of weird if you try to take the hammer to court, right? It's not going to really work. I'm the one who made the choices. I'm the one who decided to do whatever it is with that tool. And I think that's the piece that we lack. I think it's really easy to go ahead and point at social media and say, hey, social media is the problem, because it really can't defend itself. Internet's the problem. The internet can't defend itself. And so I think what we need to really understand and look at is how technology seems to be more exposing or showing and amplifying a lot of the things that kind of already existed, which is a lot of insecurities, right? I think even in the 90s, there was a comparison game, but at a very, very low level, right? Maybe your neighbors, maybe a couple friends. Now you have a device in your pocket that you can compare yourself to the world. You can compare yourself to everybody across the globe, and that can be very damaging over a long period of time. And so when we look at that and understand that, we can go, hey, how can we change what we're doing with these tools? It doesn't make sense for me to go give a 16-year-old who just got his license keys to a Lamborghini and then be shocked while he's on the interstate not knowing what the hell he's doing. That would make no sense, and there's no reason to have that expectation. I think realistically, it comes down to a lack of education, because we weren't really taught, right? We got these advanced tools, we've got this advanced technology, but nobody really taught us and sat us down and said, hey, you have this tool and you have social media, but if you're on this for 4 hours a day, you're going to start to erode your self-image. If you're on this comparing your success to somebody else, you're going to start eroding your mindset on how you feel like you can be successful or achieve certain things. And so that's the conversation that I think really needs to be had, as far as understanding how our moods, our standards, our expectations, everything changes, especially at a subconscious level, when we're on these things for far too long. Now, don't get it twisted. Obviously, there are plenty of funny people out there on Instagram who are hilarious. I've spent plenty of Sunday mornings, 2 hours just laughing at different reels, and there's absolutely nothing necessarily wrong with that. The problem becomes when it goes from 2 hours to 8 hours, when it's all day, when you're not doing anything towards the things that you've set to yourself or told yourself that you wanted to do because you spent too much time on this tool. Um, Realistically, I think once we learn to take accountability, we can then learn and see different perspectives on how to actually improve what's going on in the world today. I think what it ultimately comes down to is that you can use your phone to help you, or you can use it to hurt you, right? You can scroll your hours and numb yourself out, feed the distraction, or you could use it to learn that language that you want to learn. And I'm not saying that it's got to be one all or the other, right? You can either use your phone to be productive or just don't ever use it, or use your phone to just do brain rot or don't ever use it. That's not the idea. It's moderation. Everything comes back down to a balance of understanding, hey, I can do this for an hour or so to entertain myself and get distracted, but let's not forget the plan on the other side that I've been working on or thinking about doing for years. I think at the end of the day, a lot of our unconscious interactions with these tools are creating some very real conscious problems for us. And if we continue to just blame TikTok, blame social media, blame the internet, and blame all these tools for the problem, then every time we get something new, nothing's going to change. We're going to continue to have more issues versus have more solutions. I'm a very solution-minded person. And so when I see something that does have inherent risks, I don't want to ignore those risks, right? We're not saying that ChatGPT can't be dangerous. We're not saying that social media can't be dangerous. What we're saying is the danger part comes from the person behind, the human behind the choices. So my name is Slims. This is the Forever Human Podcast. Appreciate y'all for being here. Out the local.